It's late. It's about 2:18. Actually, I usually go to bed really even later than that. I get up really late. This is at Askew. The thing, the thing is to make things. The thing is, the thing that I like to do, whether it's music or painting or drawing, which is mostly that's what I make. Uh, what I like to do is make things. It's less about expressing my feelings, although when you make things, of course, you do that. But the main motive of almost everything I do is uh, that I can make things and I like to make things. I love to make things. To be involved in a project of some kind or be painting a painting where you set yourself a kind of problem and then you have to struggle with it a little bit, or you have to, maybe you're not struggling to make something happen that you figured out that you want to happen, but maybe you're just waiting to see what you're supposed to do, and the problem becomes to just wait until and be patient until something comes into your head and you sort of see, and sometimes actually literally see, um, what you want to paint. And then, like the next line, you're waiting for a line, you know you want a line, that occurred to you already. And so maybe you wait for a day, and then maybe the next day you go, ah, blue line, and you see a kind of certain tone of blue in your mind. And so you do that. And then the next time you do the next thing until you kind of pile up these elements until you have a painting. In some cases, you remove elements and put things back. Generally, I add stuff when I'm making things. Just as in music, I add stuff. I start with I start, lately what I've been doing is opening up Pro Tools, right? And, uh, and sitting at my synthesizer, and which is over here. and and just fooling around with the keys and trying to find and well, actually turning on Pro Tools. And so you have these kind of Pro Tools, you have lines which represent tracks. And so you turn on the first track, and the keyboard track, generally I start with a stereo track, and I don't know why I start with a stereo track, but I start with a stereo track. I always do that. And then I play things, and this is just lately, then I play things until I get some sections uh, that seem like they might make a piece, and then I uh, cut out the sections that I think are like the good parts, and then the other parts I dispense with, and then I move those parts to a second track, which I and then I can rearrange things. I have two tracks to work on. I can rearrange things, and then I come up with a single track that all kind of works as an instrumental in quotes, because it's all on the synthesizer. Uh, Generally, I use the piano sounds on the synthesizer. I have an Alyssa synthesizer, which has very good piano sounds, really nice piano sounds. I mean, it's not a real piano. It doesn't sound uh, like Old Mother Moon is on a real on a baby grand piano. So I don't have a baby grand piano. I do have a harpsichord, and every once in a while I use that, and that's a real instrument, and you have to mic it so it's going to sound right and everything. But so I'll get those sounds, and then I'll just play them back. And like a piece I'm doing now, I've been playing it back to myself. I was going to do that tonight, but I thought I'd do this instead. Uh, I play that piece back to myself and listen to it. I've been doing it for 4 or 5 days, and I still don't have any words for it. Sometimes words come right away, sometimes not. Sometimes words come right away, and it's just like a personal cliche. Like there's certain things you repeat over and over again. Like I'm always writing songs about the ocean and the sea and the beach and all of that, and I try not to do too much of that, although I like it. Um, because it becomes my own cliche, and it's boring, and then it's sort of instantly boring if you do that, and so then you have to wait till your mind sort of sneaks around, gets in the back door, and comes up with some weird thing that you didn't expect it would come up with, and then you write that down, and then later on when I have the words written down, I try singing them to the chords, and then the melody comes in, and then little by little you build this thing up, and you add things to it, and so I am making things. I am making a song, basically. I'm not like writing a song. I'm making a song, and it's the same thing as making a painting, actually, except it's you could say it's very different. Making a painting is like what should I say? Making a painting is you have this thing in front of you that's not going to move around, as opposed to like a Pro Tools setup where you're constantly shifting and changing and moving stuff, and the music constantly moves. The music, the second you hear it, it disappears, and another note replaces it. So it's constantly you're working in time. You're building a thing that exists in time, which makes it very interesting. Where painting, you're building a thing that exists on a surface that does not exist in time. What exists in time with a painting is that what you're doing, you're changing the painting, you're adding things, and that exists in time. But in both cases, once you're finished, once you stop, you have a thing that is even one in time, the music, that's not going to change, and one that's static, that's not going to change.